send it to another community. Not been registered as a town vehicle unless if the state is the chief said.
I've been trying to reach this guy to find out just what's going on from a regional point of view, and I haven't been successful yet. I guess housing the truck at the DPW doesn't cost us anything. It's not registered.
But it will be done.
At some point.
Sure, that would be done.
Well, you know, I
But
think
that's
before it gets registered, we should get a report back to you as to, you know, what part of the plan we're a piece of, and whether or not it's going to cost us anything associated with going into this program. Now, if it helps to lead to regionalization, it's a good thing.
I was just going to say, I'm inclined to support the program under the effort of trying to get some regionalization of some efforts put together here, and if we have to, and the chief has shown a significant amount of initiative here to try and build something here, then at no or minimal cost, I think it's probably worth investing a little bit of effort to do it.
Yeah, and it sounds like, from a commitment point of view, if the funds dry up, we're not obligated like a lot of other programs. So, you know, I think I can support moving the thing forward and see where it takes us. But yeah, I'd like not to find ourselves in a surprise, you know, 6 months from now where we've got something going that is in the longer haul going to cost us money without us knowing ahead of time. Being able to take a position.
Sean's counting his fingers over there.
No, I'm much more comfortable when I heard the chief say, if the Homeland Security money dries up, the program's gone. That's what he said. So, I mean, if it's a no-cost item, I don't see a problem with it. But we're gonna have to go on that theory, though, that if the money dries up to pay these salaries and trainings, it's not there anymore.
It's a heavy-duty truck. We got to put a snowplow on it and have it available for snow and ice time.
Mr. Chair, I would suggest that the vehicle should not be registered or insured under North Reading. Let them get the regional team together, and it should be under that umbrella. And then
I would assume that's what they would be doing anyways.
I don't think it doesn't sound as though it's that organized yet.
The Nemlik vehicle's not ours.
Well, there's no need to have it registered and insured. So why should we be bearing that cost?
Well, I didn't hear
We're
that.
self-insured anyway, I believe, right?
No, we pay. We pay.
We do? Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, this project may not ever come to fruition. Why are we spending that money? This vehicle will never be used.
Market. Send it out, show it, build it. I don't know.
No, I agree with you.
I think it's a waste of money.
Yep.
If it's done that way.
You got what you need or not?
What's that?
You got what you need from the board or not?
I absolutely have everything I need on the truck.
All right, next item.
Next item, if you could skip to number 2 on my report and refer to the purple sheet that was in your packet concerning the settlement that we received on the MTBE. I'm pleased to report that a check was received by the Board of Selectmen last week, and it represents the finality of the nationwide financial settlement with major oil companies for groundwater contamination with MTBE. And it's an acronym for methyl tertiary butyl ether. As I remember, it was something that the EPA ordered, and the purpose of it was to cut air pollution emissions. So it was a great idea. The problem is it got into the soil, it got into groundwater nationwide, it contaminated a number of municipal water supplies, and there was a class action suit that was filed. The Board of Selectmen authorized action to become part of that nationwide suit, and that resulted in a settlement that we received for the water department for $663,000. is a remarkable amount of money. And the amount that we received represents about 70% of what the town would be ultimately entitled to through all of these settlement agreements that are being negotiated. The settlement also provides for reimbursement for the cost of improvements to treat the MTBE, which was detected in trace amounts in the town's water supply. So the settlement attorney did approve this. This was a document that you signed and you approved back last December. It was all done in executive session as these discussions did take place, so this has not been a subject that's been widely discussed at a public meeting. There are additional opportunities for settlements down the road, and there are 5 smaller settlements that you signed this past summer and into the fall. You remember those things coming before you in executive session. The aggregate dollar value on those is about $33,000. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's not insignificant. And it should be reported that one of the major companies, in this case ExxonMobil, has refused to settle. I guess it's not surprising. Perhaps they have too high a profit margin. But nevertheless, if ExxonMobil does settle down the road, they're about 20%. So if you just realize that the $663 settlement represented approximately 70% of the piece, the town, through ExxonMobil, would have an opportunity for just about a quarter more in terms of what we potentially receive if we were to be successful in settling with ExxonMobil somewhere down the road. It should be mentioned that this is part of a global or a nationwide settlement. At this point, the dollars, the intent is to transfer those amounts to the Water Enterprise Fund. What actions we have ongoing is we're asking the Department of Revenue, as the people that approve our tax rate and approve all major financial transactions in the town, about what actions or votes may be necessary to ensure the funds are legally transferred and become part of the Water Enterprise Fund. So that's really where we're at. We haven't gotten a response from them yet, but as soon as we do, I'll report back to the board as to the status of those funds.
Questions, comments? No, I think that it's part of our week of cash inflow, I guess. When you consider the fact all the school money and everything that's going on. Clearly, this will be a boost to the Stickney Fund and will certainly have an impact on capital projects from the point of view of stabilizing, maintaining water rates as we go forward with some of the necessary things to provide adequate supply of safe water for our community.
Just as an aside, though, this settlement indemnifies them from any future actions should anything pop up.
Well, what it says is that we don't have a right to go after them for additional monetary damages. However, if we have to install some type of additional water treatment that's not presently in place, we do have an opportunity to go back and recover those amounts, or attempt to recover those amounts from settling parties. So we can't necessarily go after them for damages, but what we can do is go back to them and seek reimbursement for any costs that we incur in treating our water supply. But it's important to note that the amounts that we had in our supply were trace amounts. So they were very small, and they were under any of the thresholds that's been established by the EPA and the DEP on this particular project. So I wouldn't preclude it, Steve, and say that we're prevented from going back. That door was left ajar, that if there's something that happens in the future, we always have the right to go back.
Good.
It's a good deal for the town. It's a good deal for the water department, and it was a very good week. Next, if you refer to the second page, item number 4, I did provide the board members with a cover letter that you received from Teamsters Local 25, and it does confirm that they have received and signed the new collective bargaining agreement with the town's patrolmen and sergeants for the period ending on June 30th of 2009. In terms of upcoming labor negotiations, we will be opening negotiations shortly with not only Local 25, but we have several other employee groups where their contracts expire in June of 2009, and that would include the Town Workers Association, which is our clerical employees here at Town Hall and some of our outlying locations, our fire department union, and our non-union folks. So those are the contracts that all come up. There's only one contract that we're involved in a discussion right now, and that is with the Public Works Union, who is presently without a contract. And we have put forth an offer, and hopefully we can come back and discuss that with the board for ratification in the not-too-distant future.
Are you talking about a one-year offer, or are
I
you talking
don't
about
wanna-
a 4-year contract?
Yeah, I keep kind of prevented to give you details of it here in open session. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, who wants to start, Sean?
I'll start. Tomorrow, as everyone knows, is Election Day. It's an important election for this country and for the state. Most importantly, as it reflects upon the state, ballot question number 1, as I said at our meeting 2 weeks ago, if question 1 passes, it's absolutely devastating in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the community of North Reading. 2 particular segments of this community will be affected dramatically. School children in this community, as well as our senior citizens. Devastating impact on the age of schools, teachers who have to be laid off, programs will have to be cut, and our seniors who are on fixed incomes will be most heavily affected. And what I mean by that is the state income tax is eliminated. What you can see is, in all likelihood, the state would probably institute a statewide property tax, as the state of New Hampshire has. They may institute a local sales tax or increase the statewide sales tax. So it will become a consumer-based revenue source through your consumption, your purchases. Devastating to the seniors in this community. And I would encourage you all to go out and vote, exercise that right, and most certainly vote no on question 1. It's one of my issues for this evening. The second issue is secondary school building committee would like to be on our agenda the next Monday night. They have a statement of interest that needs to be presented to the Mass School Building Authority by the 16th. So that would be the last opportunity for them to present their new statement of interest to us to sign off on in order to get it in the pipeline. Please go out and exercise your right to vote tomorrow.
Mr. Mio?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I echo Mr. Delaney's comments on question 1. I was not here 2 weeks ago when the board officially took a position, but I would have said vote no on question 1, as the rest of my board members did, I believe. Mr. Delaney is 100% correct. It also is going to, and I know this because I am the North Reading representative now to the Mystic Valley Elder Services, and it's going to have a devastating effect on Mystic Valley Elder Services. This is the services that are provided to our senior citizens. It's Meals on Wheels. It's just a number of programs that are provided, and they truly do not know what they're going to do or if they're going to be in business if question 1 passes. So I would have to say, please vote no on question 1, and everyone get out and vote. Thank you.
Of course, vote, duh. And even though it goes against all of my small government instincts, I would also like to express my to vote no on question 1. It would cripple the state government and just ruin everything for almost everybody. Also, I had the pleasure of attending bachelor school last week to accept another check of $2 million from the School Building Administration as another interim payment for the building of that school. It's another good thing.
Just, again, request an update on the Route 62 project. I hate to be a pest, but I'm going to continue to be a pest. In relation to that project, I'd like to know what the status is in relation to our accepting it, what the status is in relation to moving those poles, which I